What's up anak nongkrong, kita balik lagi nih di Little I Can. Dan today kita punya bintang tamu yang luar biasa banget. Mungkin buat teman-teman yang dulu pernah nonton sinetron, series Si Entong. Kita kedatangan salah satu pemeran Si Entong yang namanya Udin. Masih inget gak? Langsung aja kita ngobrol bareng sama Syahrafi. Hai, apa kabar bro? Thank you very much udah mau datang ke sini, udah mau ngobrol, udah mau bantu gua buat mengencourage orang-orang yang ada di luar sana untuk mau berani ngobrol bahasa Inggris.
Gue yang senang banget bisa di sini hari ini. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wih, luar biasa, bahasa Inggrisnya udah enak banget. Tapi when did you learn English?
Actually, I learned English when I was in school, but this is a funny story actually. So I first released my music. I'm a musician now. I'm a
Yes.
I produce music also. When I first put out my stuff, I released my first EP in 2015.
Okay.
And it was full Indonesian. And then I got so many comments about my singing and my bahasa. Karena era aku tuh nggak bagus.
Iya, betul.
So I got so many comments kayak bahasanya nggak bagus ya gitu, terus kayak nyanyinya aneh ya, karena R-nya juga
kayak nggak natural gitu ya ngomongnya.
R-nya tuh juga nggak bagus ya, jadi nggak enak didengar.
Kenapa? Maksudnya karena emang lu tuh gedenya di sini atau di luar?
Di sini.
Di sini kan?
R tuh kan jelek kan mas. R tuh nggak.
Iya.
Tajam gitu.
Iya.
I got so many comments about my bahasa and my singing karena R-nya nggak bagus. So I started talking in English more, and I talk to myself in English gitu loh. Jadi and after that I became a habit aja. Jadi belajarnya sih sebenarnya ya in school. Tapi it became intense setelah aku banyak dapat komen jelek about my songs and my music.
Itu apa ya? That's interesting karena banyak orang yang akhirnya cuma dua menurut gua pilihannya. When you got something that push your boundaries itu tuh kayak antara dua, mood lu akan berantakan banget, atau lu akan berbalik menjadi orang yang lebih baik lagi karena lu termotivasi dengan kalimat-kalimat dalam tanda kutip jahat mereka itu, dan lu memilih untuk menjadi yang kedua tadi.
Well, I hope I became better, but I tried something differently sih. Jadi kan waktu itu I started talking in English more, explore something different about myself gitu loh. Jadinya ya me that different.
Yeah, if we're talking about what's happening into from you right now, I think you already become a better person.
Amin.
Yeah. Dan sebenarnya yang paling menarik itu adalah gimana caranya kan sekarang if we talking about mental health, itu adalah salah satu isu yang betul-betul menjadi highlight bagi semua orang, terutama Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Kayak mental health itu menjadi sesuatu yang selalu digembar-gemborkan di mana-mana. Nah, menurut lo sendiri, in your opinion, what your opinion about mental health issue?
Of course, it's something that is very important. Yang mesti kita bahas, and we have to always campaign about it. But most of all, I think like when you said, when we got something that pushes us out of our comfort zone, we have to be strong and we have to use it to our advantage gitu loh. Aku jadi kayak.
But do you have someone to talk to about negative things atau negatif hal-hal yang di luar sana yang bisa bikin lo jadi drop banget gitu? Ada orang yang lo curain gitu, ada? Siapa?
Of course, I'm lucky enough that I have my family, my mom, my dad, my sister. I have a sister juga. And when I hear negative things about the way I talk, waktu itu kan R-nya nggak jelek, R-nya nggak bagus, ya kan gitu. So I talk to them, and luckily they push me enough to maybe it's a sign that you have to explore something about yourself. Dan tapi one thing that we have to understand, even now after I talk more in English, biasa untuk berbicara bahasa Inggris, negative comments still happen. Banyak loh yang bilang kenapa sih Indonesia kok so Inggris. My point is kayak bad things will always come to you. It's how we.
Iya, betul. You cannot deal with netizen sebetulnya kan.
Exactly,
Jadi
exactly.
apapun yang lu lakuin tuh pasti akan
Salah.
ada aja celahnya gitu kan. It depends on what you think, it depends on what you thought about the negativity, and you can choose what you wanna choose, positif atau negatifnya. I mean kayak ya lo mau melihat negatifnya aja atau komen positif tentang lo dari orang lain
Exactly.
gitu kan ya.
Exactly.
Nah tapi it needs apa ya, kalau bahasanya tuh kayak kedewasaan berpikir.
Oh, iya.
Maksud gue gini, secara lo anak muda, kemudian lo akhirnya bisa memilih untuk ya gue pilih yang positif aja, gue nggak mau terlalu fokusin yang negatif. Itu kan proses kan,
Iya.
by proses kan itu kan. Nah gue pengen tahu se-struggle apa prosesnya.
It's easier said than done sih.
Ya, I believe that.
Now I can tell others to you dengan lancar, but when it happened, ya gue sedih banget.
Tuh, dengerin. Makanya nih.
Gue sedih banget, and I was confused juga sih kan. Why is people around me yang sama-sama orang Indonesia, they comment bad about things that I do naturally. I mean, berbicara bahasa kan sesuatu yang natural buat kita ya. Gitu loh. Tapi kok banyak yang komplain, dan at that time kan I didn't choose how kayak Erko berbeda dari orang lain kan. That is the part of me that I cannot change, or I can change, but it is very very hard gitu. Jadi kayak waktu itu happen, pasti lah sedih banget, terus bingung, terus habis itu but ya tadi kayak yang mau bilang, I started talking to my family, kayak jujur juga kalau I am sad and I need guidance juga.
Iya, tapi mungkin juga nggak sih kayak misalkan orang-orang di luar sana tuh kayak belum punya pandangan bahwa kayak the world become closer and closer right now gitu kan, nowadays kayak yang ya lo akan semakin dekat dengan semua orang, apalagi mungkin 5 atau 10 tahun lagi bahasa Inggris itu udah menjadi hal yang biasa. Iya kan? Exactly kan? Maksud gua kalau lu nggak mau memulai sekarang, ya kapan lagi gitu loh. Dan jujur sudah mulai banyak tuh podcast yang mengencourage orang untuk berani ngomong pakai bahasa Inggris. Iya kan? Jadi maksud gua kayak ya mudah-mudahan yang nonton ini juga, terutama fans-fans lu juga, akhirnya mau untuk ngomong aja gitu loh bahasa Inggris gitu kan.
The first step is I think to start. Maybe now if you guys are starting to do it now, I think it is more common. So if you talk in English, suddenly people will not act as weird as it was like 10 years ago when I knew it. You know, back then, talking in English was not really a common thing.
Yes, back then. But you know, I have a funny story about that. I'm a presenter, and when it comes to me, when I have to translate, you know, now I'm a presenter in some competition. When I jadi salah satu presenter di kompetisi yang levelnya Asia, jadi ada beberapa competitors yang nggak bisa ngomong bahasa Indonesia. They just can speak English, then I have to translate to the judges, and apa yang diomongin judges, gue translate lagi, gitu kan, in the nick of time. Jadi kayak bener-bener yang gue harus mencerna dia nanya apa, terus gue harus sampaikan ke juri ngomong apa, gue harus bener-bener sampaikan ke dia dalam waktu yang singkat. It's not easy. I mean, I know my English is not really good, but I believe that one day my English is, you know, my English will be better. But at that time ada yang namanya grammar Nazi. Jadi jadi mereka kayak kenapa sih ini Gilang segala macam ya. Saat itu pun gue juga ngerasa iya ya, kenapa nggak waktu itu mereka hire yang udah bener-bener jago bahasa Inggrisnya. Gue juga sempat drop waktu itu, tapi gue dibelain juga sama yang lain. Maksudnya gini, saat itu memang ini urgent gitu loh. Orang yang harusnya hadir, yang bisa mentranslate dengan lancar, tiba-tiba sakit. Jadi dia nggak bisa. Nah, akhirnya ke gue gitu kan. Nah, maksud gue adalah, nah kita harus memulai dengan cara bukan menjudge, tapi lebih kepada mengencourage orang untuk, ayo bisa, ini kurangnya di sini doang kok, ini begini-begini. Bahkan dulu ada, kalau lu sempat denger, jadi ada salah satu guru gitu di kampung Inggris, dia itu mengkritisi orang-orang yang bahasa Inggrisnya gini. Yang menurut gua sih tidak semua orang bisa menerima itu gitu loh. Kalau misalkan lu memberikan saran dan kritik dengan baik, karena kan ini justru sebetulnya when you learn something new, pasti lu akan bikin kesalahan.
Exactly.
Iya kan? Jadi Maksud gua kayak kita nih sekarang ngomong bahasa Inggris. People know that your English is better than me, but I try, gitu kan. And I always try about that, how to speak English. But ya itu bukan sebuah kesalahan. Justru menurut gue berbuat kesalahan adalah prosesnya, gitu kan. Nah, makanya gue pengen bikin konten ini itu awalnya adalah karena gue pengen orang-orang di Indonesia ini tidak hanya mendengar podcast yang yang biasa-biasa aja.
Yep.
Tapi let's talk in English with a deep conversation and talk about anything. Sekarang kita coba ngobrol pakai bahasa Inggris juga, tapi tetap campur-campur kayak begini aja, nggak ada masalah. Gua mau nanya sama lo about your transition from the actor, terus lu tiba-tiba menjadi seorang musician, terus lu jadi music producer. Nah, itu kan ada beberapa transisi tuh. Gimana ceritanya? Maksud gua kenapa nggak lu lanjut become actor?
So, I was really lucky to I think I have a good childhood. You know, I got into acting and I got into, I mean, for a kid, I think being at a shooting location was very, very fun. I got to meet...
Because you had a lot of friends there.
I have a lot of friends there, you know, and the series, the programnya juga, it was bercerita sebenarnya tentang kisah sekumpulan anak-anak yang mereka belajar tentang hal-hal baik dalam kehidupan. So, I mean, si Entong kan sebenarnya in each and every episode sebetulnya ada takeaway-nya.
Betul.
There's a lesson gitu.
Betul. Lucu banget sih.
Yeah, for little kids, like jangan suka bohong.
Iya.
Don't take something that's not yours, jangan mengambil hak orang lain, but itu disampaikan dengan cara yang macam-macam. Betul. That's like the point of the movie. So it was for me, it was just having fun. I didn't feel like I was working. And then I was in the 6th grade. I have to do an exam. So
jadi stop.
I stopped. And after that, I went to school. I found myself in music. So it's not really like
I see.
purpose. I wasn't doing it on purpose. It was like it wasn't a purposeful switch sebenarnya gitu. It wasn't.
I feel like you need more challenge in your life. Yeah, because you're already satisfied about actor and movie for production, maybe,
but like I didn't feel like it was intentional. The change from doing acting into music, I wasn't doing it intentionally. It was really natural. And after that, I found pleasure in music. I found my love for writing songs. My first song that I wrote is actually I wrote it for my first girlfriend. So it was a way for me to say things that.
When you're 6th grade?
No, I was in high school. I wrote my first song when I was in high school. So I'm not really a talkative person. In real life. So I have a lot of things that I want to say, but I cannot say it face to face directly. So I found a way of doing that through music. Akhirnya gitu. Jadi it was not really I
think it's more romantic. Yeah.
Maybe, but like it's not intentional. Bukan sesuatu yang aku sengaja. Sekarang mau jadi musisi deh gitu. It was not really. It was less of that and more of it was a discovery process.
Siapa penyanyi atau mungkin band yang menginfluence lu untuk lu kayaknya bisa berfokus ke dunia musik?
I love John Mayer.
John Mayer, ya. Bagus, pilihan yang bagus.
Yeah, I love John Mayer. My favorite album itu Michael Jackson Thriller.
Ternyata selera musiknya oke juga ya. Tadinya gue pikir karena pakai baju Nasar, lu suka Nasar.
I love them. Honestly, like I think just like we're talking in English. Just like life, there is beauty in everything that we hear and we see. I think there is pleasure in every form of music. There's music that makes you want to dance. Maybe you call that dance music. There's music that makes you feel like rebel. Maybe you call it rock. There's music.
So basically, you love all genres.
I think so.
Yeah.
There's pleasure in every form of music.
What do you love about Nasar?
What I love it makes you dance. As an Indonesian and kita punya sapras Melayu ya.
Iya,
Mungkin
iya,
correct me if
iya,
I'm
iya,
wrong,
iya.
but that dangdut is in our blood. You cannot deny that. As much as you try, it is in our blood. I mean, yeah, maybe growing up with influence, we have a lot of access to information, right? Jadi
Yes.
kita banyak referensi sekarang. Tapi I think deep down in our DNA, this is us.
Iya. Tapi yang paling lucu juga sekarang itu adalah ketika kalau mau ke psikolog, ada kalimat yang seperti ini. Ke psikolog mahal, nonton konsernya King Nasar aja.
Exactly,
Gitu ya.
yeah.
Karena memang this guy, dia tuh entertaining banget.
Exactly,
Ya,
yeah.
he's really entertaining. Jadi kita kalau ngelihat dia tuh emang pasti akan ketawa gitu kan, pasti akan happy gitu-gitu. Ya mungkin itu esensi dari musik dangdut itu sendiri yang tadi lo bilang ke kita juga.
It's music of the people.
Iya. Tapi lo pernah coba nggak? Have you ever tried to make dangdut music? You haven't. But because I think there's one new genre called hipdut. Yeah. And I kind of like it.
I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
I think yeah, like that. Like I said before, like growing up, maybe we have influences from other places, maybe from the West.
Yes.
Hip hop is from the West, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we try to incorporate that into our own thing. Well, yeah.
But between that, actor and a musician, do you feel you had to rediscover yourself after being known as Udin?
I don't.
Because for some people, I think that's the hardest part. Yeah.
Maybe if you intentionally want to do it, then maybe yes, you have to rediscover yourself. But for me, it was really, really natural. So I didn't feel like I have to change anything about myself. If not, I found a better version of myself that's more relate to me.
That's interesting, and you also have a support from your family. That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's the main.
Yeah. Tapi kalau misalkan kita mau tanya, gua nggak pernah merasakan menjadi orang yang dikenal ketika umur gua masih kecil. I mean, gue bukan artis cilik. Bedanya lo adalah artis dari kecil gitu loh. Kalau sekarang secara sadar, gue bisa bilang, ya gue artis, gue dikenal banyak orang. Ketika semua orang minta foto, gue akan ladenin because itu part of my job gitu kan, to pleasure everybody anywhere gitu kan, dan juga kapanpun gitu. Jadi kalau lu waktu kecil dulu itu apa rasanya sudah dikenal orang banyak?
Like I didn't really think about it. Like I said, I think I was just having fun, honestly. That particular series, Alhamdulillah, puji Tuhan, it went really well. So at one point, I think it was one of the most watched title or series at that time. But I was just having fun. At a certain point, it got really busy. There were certain periods that I have to be on location like 24/7, literally.
Yes.
But before that, it was really fun. I didn't really think about it.
Bagus banget karena banyak anak-anak yang merasa bahwa mereka tuh kayak ya gua kerja akhirnya gitu kan, tapi mereka tidak mendapatkan fun di situ. Tapi beda berarti ya. Lo justru mendapatkan fun di sana. Menurut lo, do you think only talent is enough for today?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's a hard one. I think talent will get you so far, but I think there's so many people today. There ada bermiliar-miliaran orang, and if you don't work for what you do, it's gonna be very hard for you to actually membedakan diri lo dari orang lain, nggak sih? Because there are so many other people that works 10-20 times harder than us if we don't work for it.
Jadi selain talent, apa yang harus lu butuhkan?
You gotta want it, I think. You gotta want it and work for it. because I think there's a lot of people that wants to be something, but not a lot of people want to work for it.
As a businessman, I want to know about your perspective, from your perspective about if the talent is not enough, then what do you must do? I mean, apakah lo harus punya Instagram, TikTok, atau mungkin social media yang akan lo manage setiap harinya dan lo harus betul-betul dedicate kepada itu semua atau bagaimana? Atau sebenarnya kayak ya udah yang penting lo talent aja cukup, biarkan orang mencari lo gitu.
Honestly, I think the correct answer to that is I don't know, because there are so many possibilities. There are so many ways to achieve what you want to achieve, and there are so many ways to be successful. But I think at the end of the day, you got to make sure that what you choose matters to you. If it matters to you, you will find ways to do it. If you say Instagram, there's so many people that have Instagram. If you say you got to work every day, there are people that work literally every day and they don't make it. So
why I feel like you don't need some kind of validation anymore? I don't know why. It feels like you are kayak nyantai aja, sudah deh, tenang aja, gue udah pernah ini gitu loh. Some people need more validation.
I think we all need validation in a way, but I think we just know which one matters and which one don't.
Really?
I think so. You mean so many people? I bet you get people come to you and say that, Mas Gilang, you're very great, you're very cool, you're very handsome, you're very ABCD.
Yeah, but I don't see that in you. I don't know why. It feels like you are, you're famous. Everybody knows you, but I feel like you don't really into it. I mean, kayak ya udah itu nggak penting banget. Yang penting gue sudah melakukan apa yang terbaik aja gitu. Sisanya ya udah terserah gitu. Am I right? No?
There are some truth to it, but I think over the time I just try my best to know which validation is actually true and which one is not. I think when you can get a sense of mana kata-kata yang kita dengar itu betul dan tidak, I think you will be much happier, because I think there are so many people that say things that they don't actually mean it.
Iya sih. Ya balik lagi sebenarnya itu kan pilihan.
I mean, pasti kan waktu say when people say that cara bicaraku aneh atau apa itu kan it's not, there are some truth to it, tapi kan nggak semuanya benar gitu. Jadi kalau semuanya dipikirin tuh stres banget sih. And I was a stressed person.
Oh ya?
Of course.
Because of what?
Because of at a certain point I feel that nothing I do was right gitu. Ya kan pasti kan kayak kita ngapain aja juga pasti ada salahnya sama netizen, sama orang di sekitar kita gitu.
Nah, berarti pertanyaan gue begini, ketika kalau di posisi gue sekarang adalah I have my family and I need to feed them, so I need to work hard and get a lot of money from there. Tapi kadang itu bertabrakan dengan idealisme gue. Dengan passion gue. Ada beberapa hal yang mungkin gue tidak terlalu passionate, tapi I have to do that because ada uang di sana, gitu kan. Nah, kalau gue tanya ke lu, which one do you choose, passion or money?
I think we have to be. I'm a realistic person. Also.
Oh, I see.
And I also do things that I don't really want to, and I think for being realistic. Of course we have to do that, and at the same time I have maybe one or two things that I really love. That I do on the side. I think once it became a job, like I think you are a very established businessman. I think you're a very established person in what you do. I understand that life is very complex, and a lot of times that
I agree with that.
You have to do things that you don't really 100% agree. I think that is once you get to a certain point in your life, pastinya hal itu akan lebih banyak sih yang seperti itu.
Jadi kalau gue tanya apa yang membuat lu passionate banget gitu sekarang ini apa?
I love my music.
Music.
I love my songs. I love my family too. Yeah, I will do anything for things and people that I love.
Ya. Nah itu menarik banget gitu loh karena lu umur lu berapa sekarang? 28. Karena di usia lu yang sekarang gue inget waktu itu di usia lo itu sekitar itu gue tuh bener-bener gue tuh mau jadi penyanyi R&B di awalnya. Gue pengen banget jadi penyanyi R&B. Tapi memang ketika gue terjun di dunia entertainment in Indonesia, marketnya itu ternyata yang lebih banyak adalah yang komedi, dangdut, dan ya bukan berarti gue suka gitu kan, karena itu menghasilkan. Tapi kalau ditanya awal terjun ke entertainment, karena gue mau jadi apa, gue mau jadi penyanyi R&B gitu loh. Nah, jadi ketika ditanya balik ke gue adalah, ya udah gue lakuin itu karena ya tadi ada uang di sana gitu. Tapi akhirnya gue mencoba untuk melakukan apa yang gue suka. Maksudnya I spent a lot of money untuk rekaman lagu R&B. Jadi gue nabung dari sini untuk melakukan passion gue gitu. Jadi life tuh kayaknya lucu banget gitu hidup gitu ya. Tapi itu terjadi di lu juga nggak?
Of course, yeah. I mean kayak growing up, especially working in an entertainment juga, pastinya kayak there are things that I don't really like but I have to do, or there are misalnya people or songs that I don't really feel comfortable with, I have to do gitu kan. It's just, I think it's just part of it. But at the end of the day, if I feel that if I have a goal that it really matters, then I would find ways to do it. Like I said before, I think there's in this modern age there are no such thing as a sure method to do something. Like let's say if we post every day on Instagram, we will get a lot of followers. I think itu tidak pasti.
Iya. Tapi fans lu zaman dulu yang ketika lu jadi Udin di Sintong masih ada yang ngikutin sampai sekarang nggak?
I think honestly, I think a lot of my like people that I met on Instagram masih a lot of my followers itu people that watch me on screen.
Tapi lu pernah nggak kayak misalkan kayak I'm afraid that people won't accept me as the new me. My question is, are you afraid people won't accept the new you?
I think there are people that's never gonna be happy with the version that I am right now. I mean, I think it's just inevitable. I think it's just you cannot really menghindar dari itu gitu. I mean, the version that I am right now, it won't please 100% of people that I meet gitu. I mean, that's fine.
You know what's interesting about our conversation right now is, maybe people know Udin.
Yeah, but they don't know me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I know some interesting things about you right now. Jadi mungkin orang taunya Udin di layar kaca segala macam, tapi ternyata aslinya punya pemikiran yang sangat dalam ya, gitu kan. Tapi lu punya ini nggak? Lu punya semacam cita-cita nggak in your 40 gitu kan? What are you gonna do gitu kan? In your 50 gitu-gitu, lu udah punya rencana gitu-gitu nggak? Apa-apa?
I want to look back and not regret anything that I've did.
Betul.
I want to, when I look back at my life, when I'm in my 40s or my 50s, I want to, I really did things that matter.
And what's that thing?
Things that I love. Okay, I have my music. I have a family business that I do. I have my family. So looking back, I want to make sure that I do everything that I can.
Tapi yang mungkin adalah yang membedakan dari lu dan mungkin orang-orang lain adalah di luar sana, banyak dari mereka struggle. Dalam artian begini, lu mungkin tidak memulai dari nol. I mean you came from the your family is good, your family is fine, dan lu banyak dapat support juga dari orang tua, dari keluarga dan lain-lain, dan lu adalah seorang businessman sekarang. Jadi banyak orang yang mungkin kalau melakukan pivot kayak dari satu pekerjaan ke pekerjaan lain itu struggle-nya setengah mati tuh. Ya, mereka harus nyiapin mungkin financial things, terus juga mentality dan lain-lain gitu. Sementara mungkin perbedaannya dari lu adalah ya gue pivot, tapi secara finansial gue cukup tenang. Benar gak gue?
I think everybody's the hero of their own story. Pasti everybody punya kesulitan dan kelebihannya masing-masing ya. I think kayak semua orang punya perjuangan mereka masing-masing.
Ya.
But like finance and money, I think everybody is worried about that all the time. Mungkin growing up, I am fortunate my family. Alhamdulillah kita nyaman gitu. Aku
nyaman tuh bahasa yang gue sering dengar untuk orang-orang yang punya duit banget, tapi ya udah.
Tapi kayak I think growing up kayak aku puji Tuhan tidak merasa kekurangan.
Iya.
So I think, but at the end of the day, apalagi like you are right now, everything that we see here is your business. Of course, finance is something that you worry about all the time, and I worry about that all the time.
Indeed. Yeah.
Memang kan pada hari ini, alhamdulillah kita tidak kekurangan, tapi I think kalau about money and finance has always been a concern.
Iya, betul. Sebentar, gue pengen kita main game ya. Tapi berbicara mengenai keuangan tadi, yang menarik adalah bahwa di sini Syarafi sama sekali tidak berusaha untuk menjadi motivator. Dia hanya menceritakan apa yang terjadi dalam dirinya aja. Gue takutnya orang-orang di luar sana tuh salah tangkap. Gue cuma takut netizen itu ngerasa bahwa oh jadi lu ngajarin kita nih. No, bukan. Syarafi sedang menceritakan dirinya. Gue bertanya, dia menceritakan dirinya, jadi jangan salah tangkap Syarafi, oh enak lu kan begini. Ya itu hidup dia gitu loh, dan dia tidak berusaha untuk memberikan motivasi ke arah sana.
I get it. Like I said, kayak everybody punya kesulitan, kita semua punya kesulitan.
Iya, punya struggle masing-masing kan. Because I asked him about his personality, so jadi bukan untuk mengencourage ya teman-teman ya, sekali lagi ya, bukan menjadi motivator dia di sini. Tapi menarik, karena gue tuh suka banget ngobrol. Sama siapapun, karena gue bisa mendapatkan banyak ilmu, gue bisa mendapatkan banyak teman, ya, jadi gue bisa tahu karakter orang juga gitu kan. Tapi kalau saat ini gue pengen ngajak Syarafi untuk bermain games. Enaknya adalah gue pakai ChatGPT, jadi gue tinggal nanya, bikinin game dong, udah jadi tuh barusan. Oke. Games yang pertama adalah ini, lo harus jawab cepat. Oke, ya, Syarafi. Which one was happier, past or present?
Past.
Why?
Happier.
Yeah.
Of course, I was in the past. Less things to think about. I think the me that I am right now is apa ya? Nyaman gitu. It's way beyond happy gitu.
I see.
Kalau happy kayak senang gitu, senang saja. I think the little kid is happier. Nothing to think about.
Do you think your life now is challenging?
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Of course, but it's also equally full of blessing. So I'm not really complaining about it.
Yeah. Wise banget ya. Berikutnya. Antara dulu dan sekarang, which one felt more pressure?
Now.
Now. Oh, karena dulu tuh lu udah have fun aja sama teman-teman, sama segala macam main-main gitu. Justru di usia lu yang sekarang nih, kayak apa sih yang lu ngerasa jadi beban tuh?
I think it's just there are so many great people in what we do gitu loh. Let's say when I was starting music, I'm a 17-year-old singer-songwriter that writes borderline good songs. But tapi ada juga loh kayak cowok lain yang jauh lebih ganteng, jauh lebih keren, suaranya jauh lebih bagus, dia kerja lebih keras, kayak just don't know. Gitu maksudnya, I think pressure comes from a lot of places, but like there are so many ways, so many people, so many ways to be successful, so many uncertain things that adds to the pressure of doing what you love.
Do you think hard work is the only cara? Is the only way to achieve success?
No, I think
No.
I think there's nothing certain about today.
Hmm.
It's
But you have to move, right?
But you have to move,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then you see somebody that works hard, but they go nowhere. And you suddenly you see somebody seolah-olah mereka tidak ngapa-ngapain dan tiba-tiba
Iya.
sukses gitu
I
kan.
think because they know how to kayak misalkan lihat dia udah tahu, oh kayaknya kalau gua ngerjain ini sekeras apapun gua nggak akan jadi gua harus bikin sesmart mungkin gitu nggak sih? Iya. Oke, baik kita lanjut ya ke gamesnya. Past or present, which one was more real to you?
Oh, now maybe present. Yeah, maybe present. I mean kayak when I started doing music, let's say, I was fake. But I mean, when you start doing something, you're gonna be fake, and that's fine. I think that's completely fine. Okay, I say if you're watching this and you want to learn English, you will be fake for a little while, and that's fine.
Ya. Ya tapi memang itu kan risiko pekerjaan, memang harus begitu kan ya. Iya.
That's fine.
Oke, kita lanjut game saya ya. Lo tinggal jawab truth or myth, ya.
Yeah.
Fame brings happiness.
I think facts. Yeah.
Oh,
True.
that's a fact. That's true.
In a way, that's true.
Iya.
Iya nggak sih? Sampai titik tertentu, iya nggak sih?
Iya, benar. Karena kadang tuh ngelihat orang happy, kita juga ikut happy juga. Iya. Oke. Itu yang lo rasain juga ya berarti ya.
Fame brings happiness.
Fame, ya.
I think and to a certain extent sampai titik tertentu dikenal orang membuat kita bahagia.
Kalau lu sebagai music producer, itu kan berarti ibaratnya lu punya penyanyi. Ketika lu membuat penyanyi itu terkenal dengan lagu yang lu bikin, apakah lu juga menurut lu tuh
It is, but like songs is, I think I love my songs and they're all personal to me. So ketika when I hear somebody else singing my song, they are singing
Wah,
my
itu
life.
gila sih. Rasanya gimana ya?
Yeah, they are singing my life. So I in a way I am happy with it.
Okay. Truth or myth? You can survive as a musician without social media.
Myth. I think that's myth.
Ya nggak mungkin ya kayaknya zaman sekarang sih ya.
To be honest with you, like I said before, I have a lot of things to say, but I don't always know how to say it. Like including, I think in social media, I think everybody, but especially me, we do a lot of trial and error. Gimana caranya supaya the audience understands what we're saying. And there's a big gap barrier for that. Jadi kalau ada somebody or kalian nonton, you're just naturally good at doing content, I think you're blessed. So many people have problems with it.
Tapi emang lagu yang terkenal atau enggak itu misteri ya. Maksud gua kita tuh buat lagu sebagus mungkin kadang-kadang.
I think so, and it depends on how well you do your social media untuk bikin audience ngerti apa yang kita coba sampaikan.
Iya. Jadi lo akan terus aja bikin lagu bagus, ya nggak tahu nanti terkenalnya kayak gimana terserah. Yang penting lo akan terus aja produksi lagu-lagu bagus gitu kan ya.
Well, that's the one thing that I know how to do is to
Keren. Oke, terakhir untuk truth and myth or myth. The industry is fair. Truth or myth?
Bener ya? I think myth. Maybe myth. I think it's a myth.
Kenapa?
I think nothing is fair. I mean, business is not fair. Industry is never fair. It rewards smart people. Thank you, Mas. It rewards smart people. Nothing is fair. We're not really living in a fair world right now. I don't know. What do you think?
Iya, sama. Karena kalau ya, especially in Indonesia. Jadi market kita itu, setahu gua adalah kita membaginya menjadi 3 level. Level A, B, and C. Jadi untuk yang C itu kita tahu bahwa ini lagu-lagu yang mereka dengarkan adalah genre seperti ini. Dan ini jumlahnya banyak sekali. Nah, lagu yang mungkin gua suka bikin adalah marketnya B.
Oke.
Tapi ya niche, itu niche market gitu loh. Jadi kita nggak tahu kapan lagu kita akan terkenal karena ya marketnya seperti itu gitu.
Kalau statement lagu terkenal itu pasti bagus, namun lagu bagus belum tentu terkenal, do you agree with that?
Iya, gue setuju.
Do you agree with that?
Gue setuju. Lagu bagus belum tentu terkenal.
Lagu terkenal pasti bagus.
Lagu terkenal pasti bagus menurut market mereka, gitu ya. Tapi kalau ditanya ke gue sebenarnya lagu terkenal pasti bagus. Kayaknya nggak juga sih. Nggak juga. Karena yang membuat terkenal itu kan sebenarnya adalah algoritma. Ya kan saat ini kan algoritma yang bermain kan. Kayak kita mau bikin konten sebagus apapun, kayak meaningful, terus pembahasannya menarik sekali. Tapi kalau tidak menarik menurut market yang besar tadi di level C yang tadi gue bilang, ini nggak akan naik, nggak akan viral, nggak akan apa-apa.
Tapi lagu terkenal pasti bagus tuh I agree with.
Oh lu setuju?
Lagu terkenal pasti bagus tuh I agree with.
Kenapa?
I don't know, kayak Hipdut yang keluar sekarang. When I hear it, kayak I have this indicator that I feel when I hear good music. Aku merinding.
Oh, tapi
gitu.
banyak juga loh lagu-lagu terkenal. Tapi menurut gua sih apa sih nggak bagus gitu. Lu pernah dengar lagu track asadek sama lu semua terkenal. Tapi itu nggak bagus gitu loh. Jadi maksudnya.
Iya. Jadi kayak waktu pertama kali aku dengerin Hipdut, itu gue.
Kalau Hipdut iya.
Itu gue merinding banget.
Gitu.
Bagus ya.
Bagus.
Like, I love that.
Iya kan, kayak mereka niat bikin musiknya, terus liriknya gitu menurut gue.
It's such a good song gitu loh.
Iya.
I think when you take away the production and you just hear the song alone, it is a good song.
Betul. Nah, jadi ya tadi gue bilang sebenarnya tergantung juga sih, kita nggak bisa bilang setiap lagu yang terkenal pasti bagus. Gua ada setujunya, ada nggak setujunya juga gitu ya. It depends lah gitu ya. Agak tricky sebetulnya tadi. Nah, oke. Sekarang karena lu dari tadi menjawab soal music, because you're a musician right now and also a music producer, gue pengen lu menjawab lagu apa yang cocok menurut lu ketika pertanyaan ini gue berikan kepada lu, oke? A song that represent your lowest point.
John Mayer, Gravity.
Gravity is working against me.
It is tentang kehidupan. Kenapa kayak the world always trying to pull me down. Kalau
Yes,
gitu,
yeah.
Gravity
Still John Mayer ya.
is working against me, kan lihat kayak gitu. Gravity tries to bring me down.
Boleh nggak? Dikit aja.
Gravity is working against me. Gravity wants to bring me down.
Gak ada penonton lagi, gak ada penonton ala di sini. Tapi luar biasa. Nanti masukin itu bukan. Keren. John Mayer, Gravity. Second question. A song that represent your childhood.
Oh, The Course.
The Course?
The Course.
Yang mana?
So Young.
'Cause we are so young now. We are so young now.
Oh, we were so young now. Itu?
Yeah, so kayak
Kok gue merinding ya? Tuh, merinding bener. Karena lo dengerin lagu The Course.
iya, one of the first music that I remember listening.
Hmm.
Itu waktu itu kayak sore hari gitu, and then my family tuh punya DVD The Course Unplugged di MTV.
Oh, ih keren banget.
Iya.
Kalian didengerin sama keluarga lo apa biasa? Lagu-lagu apa?
They like
The Beatles pasti dong.
yeah, the Beatles, like my dad likes jazz, like Paul Jerome, Earth, Wind, Fire.
Earth, Wind and Fire. Luar biasa. Berarti David Foster gitu-gitu dia dengerin juga dong ya. Keren. After the love has gone. Ada versinya sih Brian McKnight yang nyanyi itu menurut gua oke banget.
After Love Has Gone.
Iya, itu enak banget. Oke, baik. Lagu berikutnya. A song that represent who you are now.
Oh, that's interesting. Represent who I am right now. Maybe my song.
Your song.
Maybe my song, because I think kayak it is a phase of my life that I choose to document. Gitu.
Ya. Jadi yang paling menurut gue romantis dari seorang musician adalah they don't write a book. Jadi mereka menuliskan kisah hidup mereka atau apa yang mereka pikirkan itu ke dalam sebuah lagu, di mana itu dilengkapi dengan instrumen-instrumen yang indah. Jadi itu yang menurut gue menjadikan sebuah lagu itu mahal, gitu loh. Jadi lu menurut gue sih berada di tempat yang luar biasa dan gue salut buat itu, luar biasa. Oke, mau main game lagi apa stop nih kita nih? Kayaknya masih ada deh game saya di sini ya, kayaknya menarik nih. Oke, ada satu-satu aja. Ini nama gamesnya adalah gue akan ngasih lo 2 pilihan yang sama-sama berat, but you have to choose. Oke? Be famous but misunderstood.
Wow.
Yeah, be famous but misunderstood, or unknown but truly happy.
Unknown but truly happy. This might sound a little bit cringe atau kayak apa ya? Atau maybe you can say that I am a hypocrite. But I think truly happy is really really rare. Zaman sekarang ya. I mean, I don't know.
It's an easy question.
Would you?
Yeah. If I have to choose, I want to be famous and happy. If I have to choose, but it's a game. And the second one is make money, but fake your art, or stay broke but stay real.
No, make money and fake your art. Honestly, yeah. I mean, we are living in a realistic world.
What do you mean? You need AI help or?
No. I mean, make money, but at the same time, the art is not really satisfying your inner self.
No, I don't get it. What do you mean?
So the option was like make money, but the art that you're making is not really in line with your ideology.
Oh, okay, I see.
Or
I see.
you choose to go with your idealism, but you're broke. Like I would be rich and.
I thought you're going to use AI for your art.
No. I mean, the question gitu.
No, nggak tahu juga sih. Mungkin gua nangkepnya ini kayak lo kayak ya bikin musik tapi dari AI. Terus
bikin musik tapi kayak nggak sesuai sama
jiwa lo gitu ya.
I think be rich. It's like lebih menyenangkan.
Yeah. Okay. Next is be loved by fans or respected by musicians.
Oh man.
You have a lot of fans, but there's no musicians loves you. Which one do you choose?
I think for this game, maybe fans.
Fans.
Maybe fans, because at the end of the day, I think maybe not only musicians here, but if you do any form of art, you're doing it for the people. And I hear John Mayer says that you don't make music for people who make music, you make music for everybody.
Keren.
That is So that's the way I.
Jawabannya keren. Karena dengan cara seperti itu ya lambat laun musician juga akan recognize you kan. Iya, kayak si Aldi Taher kan dulu kan mungkin people against him. Kayak apa sih ini ngomong apa segala macam. Kesini kayak kayak dia kayak semua orang suka.
Ini ada benarnya ya.
Iya, jadi kayak gitu kan. Ya walaupun itu semacam kayak bias sih sebetulnya, tapi ya sudahlah. Oke, masih ada gamesnya. Ya kita main lagi, masih ada waktu soalnya. Lo harus lanjutin kalimat berikutnya, oke? People don't know that I am actually
a true introvert.
Really?
I don't mind spending time alone. Like most of the week that I take off, I just go alone.
Really?
Yeah. I just disappear for one morning. And nggak morning sih. So before I go to the office, I would just go to the golf course and I tee off earliest in the morning. I play with anybody that the starter
Yeah.
pairs me with.
Terus kalau misalkan lo kayak harus bertemu dengan, because you're a music producer, you need to meet a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
Nah, ketika itu terjadi dan lu ngerasa kayak, aduh, gue udah nggak bisa nih.
No, kalau
kalau itu enggak?
Kalau kerjaan kan, kalau for work, I can compartmentalize it pretty well now. So I do work like normally, but I do have my like alone time, and I do have time that I spend on my.
Keren, introvert guys ternyata guys. Tapi kelihatan sih. Oke, berikutnya. The hardest thing about being known is?
Hardest thing about being known is, I think it's addictive.
Yeah.
Like once we get, and I think the entertainment business it has its ups and downs. So when you get a taste of people care about what I do, and you suddenly want to do it again and again and again. I think the simple example is, let's say you post something on Instagram and it really blew up. And it's just the next thing that you post, you're worrying about like, is this gonna get the same traction as the one
Lu
before?
tau kan cerita yang itu yang si Justin Bieber yang potong rambut, kemudian akhirnya fansnya kok potong rambut kayak begini segala macam. Ya kan akhirnya si Justin waktu itu juga agak stres sendiri. Aduh, kenapa jadi? Tapi itu benar sih. Itu benar. Oke, lanjut ya. If I could restart my career, I would
tell myself that it's gonna be okay. Don't freak out.
Lu pernah ada di fase itu?
Of course, like I worry, okay, is this the right thing to do? Is this, especially when things didn't go right, I start to wonder, is this the right call? Did I do enough? Do people actually enjoy what I do? Things like that.
Gue bisa tangkap lu adalah orang yang introvert. Lu sangat passionate sama musik lo. Tapi yang dari tadi belum gue tanyain adalah waktu lu pertama kali terjun ke dunia entertainment as an actor, kan lu kan melalui proses audisi ya, audition kan. Nah, itu kemauan lu sendiri sebetulnya atau?
So my aunt worked in an advertising agency. That is currently working on a TVC.
Oh.
So one of the guys who they're like the casting director, so kan anak lo kayaknya
cocok nih,
coba aja circuit casting. So that was the first.
Tapi waktu itu lo oke aja.
Okay, because I didn't think that I was working. It's just one afternoon in the office. Bisa sambil main, terus itu casting. Alhamdulillah, terus ya udah.
Keren. Siap. Sarafi, kita ngobrol seru banget. Tapi ya gua pribadi udah dapat banyak hal dari gue banyak dapat insight lah dari apa yang dari tadi kita omongin. Bahwa memang ternyata setiap orang tuh beda-beda. Ada yang mungkin merasa nyaman dengan keterkenalan, ada juga yang merasa bahwa gue lebih nyaman untuk menjadi orang yang bahagia dalam kondisi apapun gitu kan. Dan satu hal yang bisa gue tangkap dari obrolan kita hari ini adalah bahwa happiness is more important than anything in this world. Kan?
To me it is.
Ya. Nah itu keren banget. Maksudnya gini, kita tetap passionate ngelakuin apa yang kita kerjakan. Terus kita tetap berusaha untuk mendapatkan uang dari sana, tapi jangan pernah lupa untuk membahagiakan diri sendiri.
Of course,
Ya kan, benar kan?
We're not being a hypocrite and saying that we don't want to be famous, we don't want money.
Iyalah, itu nggak realistis
lah. We're not saying
lah.
that's not realistic. We're trying to say that happiness is very, very important, and you should try to make yourself happy all the time.
Ya. Oke. Satu hal lagi mungkin yang mau gue tanyain dari lo sebelum kita tutup podcast kita kali ini. Apa yang belum lo dapatkan, yang belum lo achieve sampai dengan sekarang, yang pengen lo dapatkan? Baik dalam waktu dekat, ataupun mungkin ya beberapa tahun ke depan yang mungkin akan membuat lo lebih bahagia daripada hari ini.
I always say that my main goal is to make people happy from what I do. Either it's my music or it's maybe the series or like the films or the things that I'm playing in, anything that I do, or is it my other work in my business? I always say that I want to do good for other people.
Kalau
I'm not saying that I haven't done that, but in a couple of years, I want to do something for other people, and I want to make people happy from what I do.
Iya. Kalau misalkan gua tanya kayak artis siapa yang mungkin mendekati main goal lu, siapa kira-kira? Baik dari luar negeri ataupun di Indonesia juga. Apakah John Mayer tetap jadi
I
jawaban?
think so because he went through his phases gitu loh, Mas.
Yeah.
He was a douche. He was a bad guy. He was an arrogant guy. I hope I was never an arrogant guy. I hope so. But tapi kayak seperti itu
Kayaknya nggak mungkin deh lu kan
dia
gitu.
mencapai kedewasaannya dia gitu loh. Jadinya
Yeah.
sekarang dia menjadi orang yang lebih baik. Dia tetap membuat orang lain bahagia dari kalau in his case kan it's his music ya. His music matters for people. I want to do something that matters for people. Either it's making people happy with my music atau dengan apapun itu yang gue menjadi bagian dari project itu or from pekerjaan gue yang gue lakukan. I want to make people happy and I want to do something good for other people.
Gua berdoa semoga lu bisa mencapai apa yang lu inginkan tadi.
Amin.
Mudah-mudahan. Nah, karena podcast kita ini adalah Little I Can. Yang tadi gue bilang di awal supaya orang-orang nonton ini tapi mereka berani untuk ngomong pakai bahasa Inggris. Kira-kira lu bisa ngomong apa buat yang lagi nonton podcast kita, maksudnya tentang bahasa Inggris. Sepenting apa kita harus ngomong bahasa Inggris, sepenting apa kita harus tahu bahasa Inggris from your perspective.
From my perspective is if you're currently in doubt about starting to learn English or talk more in English, I think you should do it ASAP because it will bring you a lot of good things. The first thing that I think it will lead you to places that you never been before. Personally, it will explore a side of you that you haven't known, or it will take you to meet people that you haven't met before. So I think there's a lot of good things that can come from it. So don't hesitate. I hope you do start your English journey as soon as possible.
Don't be afraid because mistake is the process. So you need to be more confident in every way. So that's why we make Little I Can. Dan jangan khawatir, bahasa Inggris gue juga masih belum bagus-bagus banget. Tapi gue berani untuk ngomong, untuk bisa bilang bahwa gue aja nggak takut ngomong pakai bahasa Inggris.
Honestly, I think this is a brilliant program. And when I heard the name Little I Can, it's so good. It's so cool.
Because we try to make it relate to the people out there. Because kan kadang-kadang kan orang bisa bahasa Inggris ya, little I can lah gitu. That's like a phrase that everybody used to say kan, back then. So thank you very much,
Thank you so
Sir
much
Raffi.
for
Jangan
having
lupa
me.
nanti kita akan main golf lagi.
Yes,
Oke, habis ini ya.
Yes,
Dan gue pasti kalah sih sama dia karena
Enggak.
handicap dia bagus banget.
Enggak.
Tapi gue sekali lagi mau mengapresiasi kedatangan lo, sudah mau datang ke sini ngobrol bareng-bareng. Gue merasa banyak dapat ilmu justru dari lo. Itu yang bikin gue ngerasa bahwa kenapa gue suka ngobrol adalah gue tidak merasa lebih tinggi dibandingin orang lain akhirnya. Karena gue bisa mendapatkan, wah dia aja se-humble ini gitu loh. Jadi itu yang gue tangkap dari Raffi. Anyway, sekali lagi terima kasih banyak.
So much for having
Sukses
me.
selalu.
Amin.
Dan jangan lupa untuk ngomong bahasa Inggris, ngomong aja. Sekarang ada ChatGPT, ajak ngobrol ChatGPT.
Exactly,
Ya kan udah bisa ngobrol. Gua aja ngobrol pakai bahasa Inggris di
Yeah.
ChatGPT. Halo bla gitu.
There's
Udah
an app
gampang
juga.
banget. Ya, betul, ada aplikasi segala macam. Tapi yang mau jalur pathway untuk bisa kuliah abroad, cobalah ke TBI or USG Education karena gua ada di sini.
It all started with a humble beginning. To realize a noble dream. A dream filled with hope to help build the nation. A dream to create a legacy that lasts for generations. 45 prominent Indonesians came together. to provide better education for the people of Indonesia by opening access to leading universities worldwide to help students discover their path to the world. This dream came true with the establishment of an educational institution where we all are today. For 31 years, we have carried this mission forward, consistently shaping generations of noble scholars. At the heart of it all is Learn, our foundational values: leadership, empathy, agility and access, reliability, nurture. Our Learn philosophy inspires us to keep moving forward, empowering our students to reach their fullest potential and contribute meaningfully to society. Today we enter a new chapter, guided by our shared philosophy of the U shape, a symbol of growth, creativity, and the power of the diamond. With the refreshed visual identities for the British Institute, Unisaduguna Testing Center, we move forward united as one identity, driven by one vision. To create the home of noble scholars, a place where education doesn't just happen, but where transformation begins.
Karena gue punya plan in 2027 tuh gue pengen ambil master di UK
So cool.
gitu. That's why I learn English from now for the preparation study abroad gitu kan, sama persiapan untuk IELTS juga gitu kan. Wish me luck.
Good luck, Mas. I can't wait for it. That's so exciting.
Mungkin nanti kita bisa main golfnya di sana.
Amin.
Amin. Sekali lagi thank you. Sampai ketemu lagi di video berikutnya dalam Little Icon.